I briefly introduce you Club Climate Europe, the Belgian non-profit association, which is already almost 1 year old. So in our association, we decided to focus not too much, let's say, we decided to pursue different areas of our activities. And for the time being, these are several. First of all, as we've been launched as, let's say, foreseen to be think tank for climate analytics, but for climate modeling, but later we a bit departed also to different areas. So we have climate analytics still on our board, and here we work with Heckman Real, with Canadian modeling team, with Oliver Bass. He is not here today, and we're submitting some proposals to member states to do climate and energy integrated modeling for them to foresee energy and climate transition. We maybe also submit also to Azerbaijan. But this is a very particular area of activity. So, and because it's pretty expensive and slow to develop, we also pursue other, let's say, more common or more welcoming by European Union, by your institution areas of activity. Another is capacity building in climate and energy transition for different regions. Here, initially, we thought to have a Baltic North Sea energy cooperation platform, but for the time being, we do not have enough people to work on that idea. And here, Tural is. Then we thought about Caspian, Black, and Mediterranean Sea with other university in Baku, but for the time being, as Tural is here, and he passed very great idea for Baltic, Caspian, Black Sea energy cooperation. So today we will discuss this one idea, which can be very, very beneficial. In educational line, we pursue idea of climate school. Climate school. I will tell a bit later about it. On EU and governmental affairs line, we plan to launch European Parliament intergroup on energy after European Parliament elections in July. Participate in COP29, and we also have NATO-related peoples with us, and we hope to add also to NATO energy and climate security programs. On climate finance, we plan to launch environmental fund for Ukraine, and also we have some projects foreseen, or at least we want to have them from governments, municipalities, universities, associations, and so on and so on. So in that respect, we are pretty booked with different, our ideas, but this matters, they relate to climate and energy. So here are our top people. We have Honorary President Andrea Moni, ex-European Commission from Italy. We have our president, who is like president in action, Summer Time from Switzerland, Spain, from Global Institute for Water, Environment and Health. Me, like Secretary General, and the Board of Advisors led by Peter Hefele from Germany, from Martens Centre, originally from Bavaria. It's good for that he knows personally Ursula von der Leyen and Manfred Weber. So once we have a very, let's say, mature our idea to pass to him, maybe to speak to Ursula von der Leyen, we certainly can do so. We have our co-presidents which support Andrea and Sami, Marco Michael France. He develops the climate school. We have some connections with Monaco and with French associations. Vikram, he is here from Nepal on COP29 and North-South cooperation. Selin Yilmaz from Turkey on NATO and climate diplomacy. She is president of IATA. Jos wing of Transatlantic Treaty Association, Murat, he is here for energy policy, and Ruggero from Italy on corporate relations. We also have entire very honorable group of people with whom we communicate on external basis. Maybe later they will become, if they wish so, part of of our club, Commissioner for Environment, Fisheries and Oceans, Virginijus Sinkevičius. He is Lithuanian, Kamil Maya from Poland, Pierre Shelikin, Swedish from DG Energy, which is very good for us. We spoke to him a year ago. He is responsible for international cooperation, director of the Directorate of DG Energy. Howard Liebman from USA originally, but living in Belgium. Jones Day, it's very famous American legal consultant, and he also forthcoming president of Transparency International European section. Edward Salzberg, he is here. Bernd Weber, Diana Gerasen, Kazis Starkevičius, member from IFRI in France, very big think tank in general, but she is for climate and energy. And Kazis Starkevičius, member of Lithuanian Parliament, he been my ministry when I been at the Ministry of Agriculture of Lithuania. So when I need something from authorities here in Lithuania, normally I call Kazis Starkevičius and speak to him. So our core projects right now we are focusing on is climate school and the environmental fund for Ukraine. So for climate school, we are still developing some ideas. We think it can be these two projects which are very global, where we can approach any government, let's say, to get support, and almost any country, and these co-projects which can drive our associations, let's say, income, budget, and to get us known. But also we have other projects like these we are going to discuss today. So for climate school, we have many now discussions. We want to take an example from Climate School of Columbia University, but to provide non-degree education because we are not a university, but we can provide, let's say, for students, school students, for executives, and so on and so on. Here we developed some models, and now we wait for some connections again from our President Sam in Switzerland, to have some online platform to start launching some courses. And here Rui Dang, he is very our board member for climate school, who is responsible for this. Environmental Fund for Ukraine, we have Somalia. Here we are starting also some launching Prashida. I will also maybe not too much focus on this, but we discovered there is not yet environmental fund for Ukraine. There are some funds for Ukraine, and here we will focus on non-profit sector, hopefully, and mostly on universities and girls research institutes of Ukraine to boost these environmental programs. So now about Baltic, Caspian, Black Seas energy and cooperation. It's a very welcoming idea. Initially, when I had this idea, I read somewhere in the press that Tural presented this idea to European Parliament, and I decided to speak, and to develop it further. And because we have like 3 seas initiative in Europe, from Baltic, Adriatic, and I think Black Sea, where there are some 10 plus countries participating. For example, 3 seas initiative participating countries are here, and yeah, it's Baltic countries, Black Sea and Adriatic Sea. It's been launched, I think, by Croatia, but now it became very pan-European movement. It's been recently summit of 3 seas initiative in Vilnius, welcomed by our president. It's normally governmental initiative, but it unites. It's like some project which unites European North and European South, and provides for energy and know-how and technology and ideas transfer from European North to European South. Of course, Germany is not here, it's more, let's say, Central and Eastern European related. Ukraine, I think, has observer status, not a member of this seas initiative, but it forms like countries who are joining some pathway, like some line which extends from north to south. And here, to my feeling, our club can be a bit, similar. There are, as I said, to connect European North to European South in energy and climate cooperation and different initiatives. As I said, there are like three seas initiatives, and there is Bucharest 9, there is Visegrad Group. Normally in Europe, we have pretty a lot of differences, regional, and pan-European establishments, which develops different ideas, facilitate that, pan-European cooperation, and they are very, very successful and very welcoming. So here we can form some BCB energy club. It can be Baku Zero, Baku Vilnius. Yesterday, I was thinking initiative initially launched by Lithuania, Turkey, maybe, and Azerbaijan, because now we have in our club these countries on board. Certainly, we have to develop program for cooperation, maybe energy security, maybe climate and energy investment fund, like from 3Cs initiative, maybe climate tech transfer, maybe annual summits. I think we have to establish some working group and to develop that idea, and maybe even to propose to Azerbaijan to launch officially this our club, I don't know, or some group of countries during COP 2029 cooperation. Here, yesterday I've been I'm not good in maps, so I did not draw maps how many countries can be involved here. So here there are countries from 3Cs initiative. Let's say, I think we can have even some 15 countries if from both the countries, here, maybe not Belarus, but Ukraine, Bucharest Memorandum countries, Hungary, Bulgaria, Romania, then Turkey, and then, South Caucasus, three or two countries, and then to have some also Kazakhstan and maybe Turkmenistan here from Central Asia, because these countries now develop very good connection with European Union, and Turkmenistan gas, as I know, very important for energy security of European Union, of Europe. There is some foreseen project to to deliver Turkmenistan gas on the Caspian Sea here through Turkey to south of Europe. So these are my ideas. I think this can be very, very interesting, interesting idea, but certainly we have to develop it further. So it's my ideas, and please, now I give floor to our colleagues in Baku.
Yes, thank you very much, dear Angela. It was very interesting and thorough presentation, giving us the detailed information about the Black Sea, Caspian, and Baltic Seas energy cooperation. The title is very important for us. Before starting our presentation, let me inform you that together with my colleague, Mr. Vugar Bayramov, we are joining you from the Parliament of Azerbaijan. And this is also we are leading a think tank which is called Baku Network, together with my colleague. And this Baku Network think tank is operating within the framework of the Parliament of Azerbaijan. So in this platform we are discussing political, security, military, energy security issues, and with a great honor and pleasure we are joining you with my colleague Vugar Bayramov, who is also the member of Economic Policy Committee in the Parliament of Azerbaijan, to discuss these issues. As we have so many details and important connections with the EU, with the European Parliament, let me also inform you that Vugar and myself, we are the members of Azerbaijan delegation responsible for the European Parliament. Also, we have a platform together with the European Parliament and members of the countries of the Eastern Partnership countries, Euronest Parliamentary Assembly. We are both members of the at the Euronest Parliamentary Assembly and working group responsible for the European Parliament. So we have so many connections, so many rooms to develop and to enhance our relations. Concerning the topic today, Baltic, Black and Caspian Sea cooperation, you know, several months ago when we were speaking at the European Parliament and when we were discussing the Three Seas initiative, the idea came to our mind that why not to establish, to join the Caspian Sea to the initiative of the Three Seas, because if we are talking, yes, if we are talking about the energy security of the overall European continent, I think that the Caspian Sea is also very important, because on the one hand we are the part of the global energy security of the European continent, and on the other hand we have a direct access via Caspian Sea to the Central Asia, because Central Asia is currently, the importance of Central Asia, its energy resources, its renewables is increasing because of the war in Ukraine, because of the tensions in the Middle East. I think that the importance of the energy security of the Caspian Sea is also very increasing. So I would say that 3C initiative plus Caspian Sea is what the future is. And so according to our view that Azerbaijan and the European Union, European countries must develop this idea how we can enhance the energy security of both European continent and at the same time contributing to the overall energy security of the region of the South Caucasus and Central Asia. So when we are speaking about the energy security, it is not about only about the traditional energy resources like oil and gas resources. You know, we have a very huge potential here in Azerbaijan for renewables like wind energy, solar energy, green economy, green energy issues. That's why we are also very honored that, you know, we are going to host a COP29 session this year in Azerbaijan, and this is, I would say, the #1 event in the world that in terms of the energy security and of renewables. Yes, my colleague Vugar Bayramov also will speak about this. And also, just let me tell you that, you know, when Azerbaijan gained its independence from the Soviet Union in 1991, the overall security in our region was very difficult. You know, we had wars in the South Caucasus, conflicts. The late president of Azerbaijan, the national leader of Azerbaijan, Heydar Aliyev, in 1994 invited top world energy companies to Azerbaijan, to South Caucasus, and in 1994 we signed a contract of the century with total top companies of the world, from the European Union, from the United States, and it was the moment, it was the start of the energy cooperation between Azerbaijan with West, especially with the European Union. So almost 30 years later, we have a new agenda, we have a new developments, and renewable energy, green economy, green energy issues are high on the agenda. And also we have very positive atmosphere in Azerbaijan, in the South Caucasus, because the war ended between Armenia and Azerbaijan. Now we are working together with Armenia. We are negotiating, promoting the peace, reconciliation between Armenia and Azerbaijan. Also, Georgia is a very good partner in the South Caucasus. So together, all South Caucasus nations, we can build up our relations and contribute, and using this opportunity, energy security issues to contribute to the overall energy security of the European Union. I would call the Baltic, Black and Caspian Sea cooperation the BBC, if I may name it, the small abbreviation. BBC cooperation is very important for us. So we can discuss in detail Baltic Sea, what is the energy security, how we can contribute. Also, we can separately discuss the Black Sea the situation around the Black Sea, and also not forgetting about the Caspian Sea, the new emerging market for the European, not new, but newly kind of revisioning security, energy security in the region. So in these things in the mind, I would like to give the floor to my colleague, and we can just, if we have any ideas, you can also please feel free to intervene, to ask the questions. I think that this kind of dialogue-based format conversation would be much more interesting for our listeners. Yes, Vugar, please.
Thanks so much, Mr. Tural. Before touching the energy security issue, I would like very briefly underline why the Caspian Sea should be in this initiative. There are two major reasons. The first reason is that Caspian Sea, which is actually consisting of the 5 countries, Azerbaijan, Russia, Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, and Iran. But we are looking, since Azerbaijan is exporting its natural gas and also crude oil to European market, at the same time, since the war between Russia and Ukraine started in February 2022, Kazakhstan and Turkmenistan are willing to export more energy resources to other markets, including EU market. So Kazakhstan is going to export more crude oil through Azerbaijan by using Baku-Tbilisi-Ceyhan pipeline. And both actually countries, Kazakhstan and Turkmenistan, have very huge energy potential on both actually on crude oil and also natural gas. The second reason is the green energy, which is the more renewable energy. And there is agreement between energy agreement between Azerbaijan, Georgia, and EU to export renewable energy or green energy from Azerbaijan, Georgia through Black Sea to European market, namely to Romania and Hungary. So this is actually a new page in terms of the energy security between Caspian Sea and also EU, and Georgia is also part of this initiative, this cooperation that Georgian green energy will also export it to European market. As Mr. Tural mentioned here, there is also today actually started delimitation process between Azerbaijan and Armenia. So we are looking forward to have lasting peace in the region, and also a peace treaty between Azerbaijan and Armenia hopefully will be signed soon. So that means actually not only Azerbaijan and Georgia, but all 3 countries will be able to export green energy to European market by using Caspian Black Sea. So this is because having the lasting peace in the Caucasus will make also more contribution to energy security, since renewable energy is becoming more priority, and the region has great potential for producing and exporting green energy to European market. But very briefly, I would also like to address to energy cooperation between Azerbaijan and the EU. This actually started, as Mr. Tural mentioned here, started in 1994, when actually the first contract signed between Azerbaijan and also leading companies mainly from Europe and also USA. And Azerbaijan starting exporting crude oil to the European market in 2006. So by that time, Azerbaijan has been exporting crude oil to Europe. But since 2020, December 31st, last day on the December 2020, Azerbaijan started exporting natural gas to European market. So this is like the second stage of cooperation in terms of energy security between Azerbaijan and the EU. And then the role of Azerbaijan and also in terms of the enhancing energy security in the EU and some other, not only but also like some other European countries like Serbia and also Ukraine, which are not member of the EU. Azerbaijan roles are becoming more crucial. Now Azerbaijan is the top 5th countries in terms of the exporting natural gas to European market. And Azerbaijan enhancing not only energy security of the EU, but also Ukraine by providing humanitarian aid. Since when actually border between Ukraine and Russia starts 2022 in February, Azerbaijan starting providing Ukraine gasoline, free gasoline, free of charge, which actually which enhancing the energy security of Ukraine as well, not only about EU. So that by that time, by providing humanitarian aid to Ukraine, Azerbaijan also is playing one of the key roles in enhancing and also formalization of the energy security of Ukraine. But of course, now we focus mainly in terms of the natural gas cooperation between Azerbaijan and the EU. Mainly this is Southern gas corridor, which is the consisting of the TANAP, which is exporting natural gas to Georgia and Turkey, and TAP, which is the extension of the TANAP, delivering Azerbaijan natural gas to European market. But another important point is that there is also interconnection between Greece and Bulgaria, which is very important point, which is very important project, which is the capacity of the Greece-Bulgaria interconnection is 3.5 BCM, which will be extended to 5 BCM soon. This is very important. Why? Because Central and Eastern European countries needs more support in terms of enhancing energy security, because almost all Central and Eastern European countries, they depend on the single source. So this is having the extension of Southern gas corridor from Greece to Bulgaria, which allow Azerbaijan not only export natural gas to Bulgaria, but also Romania, Hungary, Serbia, and there's also negotiation Moldova, Poland, Czech Republic. So more countries actually we will see that will join this cooperation. And the third stage is the renewable cooperation. As I mentioned earlier, that there is energy agreement between Azerbaijan and EU, which actually allow exporting Azerbaijani green energy to European market starting 2027. So this is not only Azerbaijan energy, green energy, but also Georgian green energy will be exported to European market, let's say in 3 years. So this is more innovative cooperation, more like green cooperation between the EU and Caspian Sea, let's say, including Georgia, or Caspian Sea and Black Sea, both because both seas, both Caspian and Black Sea, will be part of this cooperation. So that means actually cooperation between EU and countries from Caspian Sea and Black Sea are entering into new stage, new phase, and more. It's also like energy transition energy cooperation from traditional sources to renewable sources, and which is a more sustainable and more green cooperation between two sides.
Yes, very interesting and very important details, because when we speak about the energy security, the 3 C's energy connections, first of all we have to also highlight the political military security, because without having stable general security in the area, you cannot have stable and secure energy cooperation between our regions. That's why when we look at the map, of course, we are seeing the military buildup in the Baltic Sea region, especially after the threat to Ukraine and after the threat that Baltic Sea countries facing, and after the accession of new members in NATO Finland and Norway to NATO. We are seeing the new kind of emerging threats in the Baltic Sea, and the same concern we have in the Black Sea, because the Crimean Peninsula, the war in Ukraine, I mean the clashes between Russia and Ukraine also endangers the overall security of the Black Sea. I would say that the only remaining more or less stable region is the Caspian Sea, taking into account that the Caspian Sea is located historically on the route of the Silk Way, this region connecting the east with the west, and also we have a new developing projects north-south crossing Azerbaijan. I would say that the Caspian Sea, with its more stable and promising security issues, can also contribute to the energy security cooperation between our region. Again, if we have time, we can speak separately about the Baltic Sea, what experience, what knowledge we can learn from the energy issues of the Baltic Sea. For example, the Baltic Sea region is home to very important countries, including the Baltic countries, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, the newly new NATO members of Sweden, Finland, also including very big economic powerhouses, Germany, Poland, Denmark, of course. And Black Sea is especially very important in terms of wind energy development. So as we have a huge opportunity in the Caspian Sea of wind energy development, but we have knowledge, but we are lacking the technique, and we are lacking how to develop it. So we can learn from the Baltic Sea region countries how to develop wind energy development. And offshore wind farms, very developed in your region, in the Baltic Sea region. And now I think that in recent years, Azerbaijan has also started to paying a very special attention to the offshore wind farms, which would contribute to enhancing energy security. And also additionally, for example, if we are speaking about the Baltic Sea region, we know that there are initiatives to improve the connectivity of natural gas pipelines and to diversify gas supplies. Projects such as Baltic Pipe, which will connect Poland with Norwegian gas fields via Denmark, are examples of such efforts. Now, what we can also use this opportunity to use this experience to connect, for example, European Union with the Central Asia, using the same idea, the idea of Baltic Pipe. I would call it this South Caucasus Pipe, connecting Central Asia with European Union. Also, offshore wind energy, it's very important for us. The Caspian Sea, the city of Baku, the capital of Azerbaijan, we have very strong winds almost all the most part of the year. So we have to utilize this opportunity and to learn from your experience. Yes, we are now developing this sphere, but again, we have less knowledge, less experience compared to European Union, to European countries. Also, this LNG terminals, very important. For example, we know that the Baltic Sea region has very big and very developed liquid natural gas terminals, such as Świnoujście in Poland, for example, Klaipėda terminal in Lithuania, which play very significant role in diversifying gas supplies. So I think that these LNG terminals also can, with their experience, with their knowledge can help Azerbaijan and South Caucasus countries to develop this sphere also. So when we are talking about the Black Sea, yes, geopolitically, militarily, it's a very complicated region. Again, there is a war going on in the Black Sea, in the Ukrainian shore, the Crimean Peninsula, the scene of the battle between Russia and Ukraine. So unfortunately, energy cooperation is being prevented and is being prevented from developing in the Black Sea region. So, but also we have very important projects, the Southern Gas Corridor, which is coming from Azerbaijan, going to Black Sea, and via Black Sea going to Europe. So I think that this kind of impediments must not discourage us, Azerbaijan, Southern Caucasus countries, European countries, to give up. I think that we have to look to the additional and alternative routes. In this case, of course, the green economy, renewable energy projects are very important. Southern Gas Corridor is very huge project. Trans-Anatolian Pipeline. It consists of Trans-Anatolian Pipeline connecting Azerbaijan to Turkey via Georgia, and also Trans-Adriatic Pipeline, which is the continuation of this big project. I think that Southern Gas Corridor must be high on the agenda of European Union and also the South Caucasus. And these kind of projects also enhance the energy security and the overall security of the European Union. It is not by coincidence that Ursula von der Leyen personally visited on behalf of the European Commission, paid a visit to Azerbaijan. We have signed memorandum of understanding with European Union. So these kind of things can prevent and can help to overall security and energy security in the Black Sea. So what the last but not least, the Caspian Sea. Caspian Sea currently is the region that is less kind of challenged in terms of geopolitical, if we are speaking geopolitically. But the recent events in the Middle East, the tensions between Iran and Israel, also more active role of Central Asian countries like Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, trying to deliver their resources via Azerbaijan to European Union can create a new kind of challenges. And also we also have to tackle the question how to keep Caspian Sea safe enough not to repeat the same mistakes that we have in the Black Sea, for example. So Caspian Sea is very rich with hydrocarbon resources, but also we have a huge opportunity to develop renewables, energy, green economy, green energy, wind energy, solar energy, currently on our agenda. So COP29 session this year in Azerbaijan will also address and will also tackle these very important questions. So I think that as think tanks operating in Brussels in Azerbaijan, we have to focus more to discussing, to having exchange of views between our think tanks in order to address, in order to tackle the problems on the ground. Of course, with a great pleasure, together with my colleague Vugar, we can come to Brussels. We can have roundtable discussions whenever we have an opportunity. Also, I invite all of the participants of this international conference to use the opportunity to come to Azerbaijan, maybe to participate also in COP29 session. We will have tens of thousands of guests.
Side events.
Yes, side events. Yes, exactly, side events. NGOs, think tanks, not only the politicians, but also the people who are experts, like dear Miss Angele. She has very deep experience, knowledge on the issues of the energy security, overall security, and she knows very well our region, which is very good and very important. So having these initial thoughts in mind, I would like to open the floor for any comments and questions that you would ask us, or maybe we can also intervene to discuss. Dear Angele, I'm returning floor back to you.
Thank you, Tural, and your colleague. It's been interesting to listen to you. For getting back, I've been already maybe 3 times in Baku in Azerbaijan, and at the end of May will be 4th time. It will be a sad conference on the mining of Nagorno-Karabakh. So I come back again, and I asked also embassy in Brussels, Ambassador Sadikhov, very good US ambassador, very active, that they would facilitate us to meet COP29 organizers, because we've been submitting some proposal to organize some small conference in COP29 for North-South climate cooperation, which is at the head of COP29, as I know. But our Sakshi and Vikram, they here our powerhouse for COP29. They're a bit worrying how to get badges, especially Sakshi. So in that respect, Tural, if you can help us to get integrated, and maybe Edward Salzberg would come along with us, and he can add a lot. For us to be integrated in COP 2029, we would gladly come. If you are in Baku at the end last week on 29 and 30th of May, so I would gladly catch up, and we can discuss a bit more on this, because COP29 is very important. As I said, we submitted some proposal. I can resend to you what we've been writing, and we would like indeed maybe even something on energy security, as you said, Baltic, Caspian, and Black Sea, because here you've been praising a lot of Baltic Sea. Of course, we also have a part of Russia in Baltic Sea, and we are now not too much secure due to all attacks if we get on the Baltic countries, which been very sad in last week until US Congress passed that voted for that support package. So we've been really thinking what to do in Baltic countries if we are going to be attacked, and so on and so on. So Baltic countries up to recent are not so safe. We have a lot of military trainings here, but Baltic Sea, of course, very polluted sea. It's the fifth most polluted, I think, sea globally. But certainly it's a sea where we develop also it's very overfished sea also, as I know, but it's sea big in, let's say, cultural exchanges. We have huge cohort of countries around Baltic Sea, Scandinavian, Baltic, Poland, and the part of Germany, and so on and so on. So it's a lot of cultural roots are here, but also offshore wind parks. Lithuania is now going to already this year start building fast offshore wind park, and then second, because by 2030 we want to be electricity self-sufficient. Recently we have just 40% of electricity produced in Lithuania when we closed Ignalina nuclear power station, and we get part electricity from North Pool from Sweden and Norway, but here we sometimes have some argues because of prices, especially last year. High electricity prices. We get some part from Belarus, even from Russia, but certainly, especially with electromobiles coming into market, and so on, we need a lot of electricity. And here, these wind parks, which are already, I think, signed agreements with some consortiums who start building these wind parks. They will give us a lot of electricity, and it's our project how to become also so self-sufficient here. So wind parks, very huge wind parks. Also, not secret, all Scandinavian countries, they have wind parks in Baltic Sea. And in this respect, certainly cooperating between these three seas, which are not safe now. No one sea, maybe Adriatic is a bit safer, but Baltic, Black Sea especially, and Caspian, as you said, also could be conflicts around, and as much as cooperation we have, as it's better to my feeling, as it relates to Black Sea. When I've been in Istanbul with Celine, she's here. Last 2 February, it been conference on energy security in Black Sea. So it been certainly it's region which is Black Sea, very rich of energy resources. I know that new fields of gas resources being discovered, especially in Ukrainian side, but also for Romania and for Turkey. They cannot be yet started to be exploited due to war. and it's a region which is also very rich culturally, but it's a long time already. It's a sea of conflicts, and maybe I've been reading also some materials of Americans think tanks about the Black Sea when I've been in before Istanbul. It been how to make that region of Black Sea from conflicts to peace, that it has to catch up not on conflicts but on opportunities of artificial intelligence, robotics, I don't know, wind development, green energy development, and so on and so on. But certainly for the time being it's not possible, but it's maybe vision which we have to pursue. So here, for example, you said that you would see that Caspian Sea shall be incorporated in Three Seas initiative. Yeah, so how do you, shall we join some initiative which is already established, or we shall establish some new one? How would you see this? Because, yeah, BBC Club. No, I wanted to avoid this BBC because BBC is a channel, a famous British channel, but BCB maybe, but certainly BBC also may be good. Some like Energy Club, last summer with Damian Mishkovich from Banner University, we wanted to supply for USAID. Edward is here for USAID, some project about how to establish Caspian Black Sea Energy Club. Energy Club, that to make Baku, through that it would be a lot of different public relations events, many seminars and conferences, which would boost image of Azerbaijan and awareness of energy developments, and to make it hub and to make it like heart for that Caspian Black Sea and Energy Club. It been also Central Asian countries, 12 countries we've been involving, also Saudi Arabia. So in that respect, but lately we failed to submit because Damian said we also had meeting with DG Energy of Commission. They would be adding some resources to that project, but then Damian consulted that in last autumn, Azerbaijani and American relations been not too much good to submit that proposal, and we stopped. But we've been developing already some ideas, about that region. And if to add here Baltic region, it would be totally interesting. So my question, let's say, how do you see this idea to be developed further? It could be a separate idea, or we can join some idea. I don't know.
Yes, I think that maybe I will just say a few things. Maybe my colleague Vugar can develop this idea, because when the energy security between Azerbaijan and the West with the European Union started more than 30 years ago, by the signing of the contract of the century, by starting exporting Azerbaijani natural gas and oil to European Union. It was the moment that Caspian Sea opened first time its doors, and the global energy market has started to explore and started to have access to the Caspian Sea via this contract. So here, that's why it's more than 30 plus years later. I think that now we have a new, in this globalized world, in this world that we are living, the role of renewable energy, green energy, is enhancing, and it's very crucial. So the Caspian Sea has its resources, not only providing its neighbors, European Union, with the traditional sources, also with offshore wind energy, solar energy, and we have potential, but we have kind of less experience and less developed infrastructure for this. That's why it would be kind of the European Union, for example, the think tanks in the European Union like yourself can help us with your expertise, how we can develop this idea of interconnecting Caspian Sea with the existent energy infrastructure of the European Union. And this Three Seas initiative and energy cooperation, I think that here in this time in the 21st century is impossible without including Caspian Sea, because Caspian Sea and its role will be increasing in coming years. And Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan now are becoming more active players with their energy security plans. So that's why we must think about how, the platform, how we can do it. BBC or the name is not so important, but the platform, we can establish joint platform with your think tank, with our think tank, to develop and to promote this idea more and more. And also we can, for example, in our statements, in our speeches in the European Parliament, in our national parliament, we have to use any opportunity to speak more about these ideas. Yes, Vugar, what do you think?
Yeah, we have already actually touched energy cooperation between Caspian Sea and also the EU. Since actually Azerbaijan exporting natural gas and also crude oil to European market. And just very briefly, I would like to underline here that since December 2020, Azerbaijan natural gas export to EU has been increased more than 30 times. Last year, Azerbaijan exporting to European market more than around 11.8 BCM natural gas, and if you look at the first quarter of 2024, natural gas export to European market increased by 6%. So there is increasing improvement on energy cooperation between Azerbaijan and the EU, mainly on the natural gas export from Azerbaijan. As you know, and Mr. Tural mentioned here, there is also negotiation between Brussels and Turkmenistan, Kazakhstan, more engagement from other parts, so let's say eastern part of Caspian Sea, to energy cooperation between the EU and Caspian Sea. Of course, Kazakhstan is exporting some amount of the crude oil through Baku Network pipeline through Azerbaijan and Turkey to European market. But of course, Brussels is looking more sustainable, and also in terms of the amount turnover, more cooperation with eastern part of Caspian Sea, with Kazakhstan and Turkmenistan. But the important point is that now is we are looking more green cooperation between the EU and Caspian Sea, because the traditional cooperation between Azerbaijan and EU or Caspian Sea EU has been developed. But now is very important. A new page should be opened up for green cooperation between the Caspian Sea and EU. And Caspian Sea has a huge potential on renewable energy, which is the more producing more green energy. Just one example I would like to mention here, that Azerbaijan only last couple of years, Azerbaijan invested more than $1 billion USD to renewable sources. This is Azerbaijan is the major in terms of the amount of investment. Azerbaijan is number one is in the region, which actually also has cooperation not only companies from Gulf countries, but also with BP, EBRD. So we're also looking forward to import or transfer technology for producing green energy in Azerbaijan. But of course, not only Azerbaijan, but also other the part of the Caspian Sea coast or countries of Caspian Sea, Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, and also Georgia, and have great huge potential on the green renewable energy. So the next cooperation or next stage of cooperation, of course, the green energy, and EU is looking forward to import renewable energy from the Caspian Sea, so Black Sea. So this is also some kind of the cooperation between Black Sea and the Caspian Sea on green field. So this is actually a new page, new stage of cooperation between seas, not only between Caspian Sea or the coast of the Caspian Basin countries and also EU, but also between seas between Caspian Sea and Black Sea, because renewable energy or green energy from Caspian Sea will be exported to European market through Black Sea. Yeah, I mean that means actually Black Sea is also part of the green cooperation between Caspian Sea and the EU. So I think we need more focus more green cooperation between seas, between Black Sea, between Caspian Sea and Baltic Sea, to promote more green cooperation between the regions. Since Caspian Sea has really huge potential on renewable energy sources of producing. But joining or having the separate initiative, I think it should be also discussed. But I guess of course the Seas initiative or project has really in terms of the has more implications. It's really important to learn from Seas initiative or project. But of course, having the Caspian Sea in the project, I think will be added value, because Caspian Sea will be able to add more value to 3 or maybe in the future 4 Seas initiative.
Yes, exactly. Very, very important point. So, dear Angele, we already discussing the topic for an hour. I think that now, if you have any additional comments or questions, we would be very glad to answer it, because are you leaving now?
Yes, I have to leave.
Yeah, you have to leave. Maybe if any questions, I can stay for about 10 minutes to answer or to add something, if any reactions, any remarks. So, but I think that now, if Vugar is leaving, I will stay additional 10 minutes.
Mind, yeah. Yeah, again, thanks so much for inviting me here. Really, it's a pleasure for me to be here.
We will continue this.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Nice meeting and seeing you.
Thank you.